AMD. So for the past 10 trading sessions or so, AMD hasn't been doing much, staying in this range of 175 and all the way to 183. And today, finally, it is trying to get outside of this range. So what to watch from here for AMD? Is this stock a deal here? Can it bounce? Or is it way too expensive than a lot of people think? So this is a daily chart of the AMD 1 year chart. You can see 2 year chart basically, and all-time highs 227, retraced all the way to $83 very quickly, and this retracement is almost 20%. That is pretty big pullback for AMD, and it's hanging around its 50-day moving average. That's where it tries to rest for the most part. So is this a discount? Well, let's have a look at the valuation of AMD. A lot of people seem to not stop looking at the price versus market capitalization. Capitalization of AMD right here, right now, is $296 billion. Yes, there is a growth story right here. You can see 2021, 2022, 2023, significantly more revenue than they were making before, right? And a lot of people think that it will continue to do so. 26,000 employees, but I'm someone who likes to look at things right here, right now. So I'm not great at fundamental analysis. First of all, I'm just a trader, okay? And I talk about stocks from traders' perspective. But ultra short term, when things get a little frothy, I can tell that it's expensive. Which companies out there are around this much? 300 billion. Bank of America, Chevron, Salesforce, Netflix, slightly below. Okay, Costco, ABY, Toyota, Merck, Oracle, Home Depot. I mean, Home Depot is a lot higher, but this is the range I'm looking at, right? So the closest thing I could compare is Bank of America. I am pulling the Bank of America stats for 100 million revenue. Exact same identical market capitalization. Profit margin, AMD 10-11%. Bank of America 14%. Employees 200,000 versus 26,000. Well, double-digit growth, no, but they pay dividend, more stable, not volatile. I get it. It's not to apples, but and again, it's financial stock, right? We get it that financial stocks do not trade at crazy price to earning ratios, but that's how I look at it. I just look at different stuff. You can compare it to with anything you want. You can compare it to maybe Salesforce. Of course, they're not in a chip maker business, but just looking at the market capitalization, right? And what the revenue is. If you take a look at the Salesforce, it's a lot more cheaper than AMD right here, right now, where market capitalization is identical. And look at this revenue chart of the Salesforce. And let's go to AMD, right? Anytime this downticks or it doesn't take much for the market to punish these names who are they trade with very high price to earnings ratio, and then slight miss, it can punish the stock 30, 40, 50% very quickly. So now let's jump into the technicals of this name. Again, this is just pure for context, okay? I'm not trying to say anything, but technically it is expensive for me personally. But right here, right now, I'm not in the camp of saying that this is a discount, back to the beginning, and to assume that AMD will just take off from here. No. I do think that it can chop around. Even if it tries to push higher, I'm in the camp that it will be sold off or it is a perfect shorting opportunity. I do think that AMD, if it loses 174 right here, right now, it's just in a chop mode, 175 basically, it can come down to 165. That's the next level of support. But if it tries to bounce, so technically speaking, it is above its 50-day moving average, and technically speaking, 5-day moving average curling up, 20-day moving average curling down. Anybody in the last 20 days who have bought the stock on average, those people are down. They're losing money, especially people who chase this out, basically breakouts, and given that it fairly quickly gave it all back. So that's what it is. 20-day moving average in a downtrend. That's my resistance, 191. Okay, if it does take out 187 at the moment, that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm watching as a resistance. Okay. In terms of options, let's have a look at the maximum pain going into the big, basically the pre-earnings, right? Officially, Q1 is over. Soon, all these companies are about to report earnings. We can take a look when AMD reports. AMD reports somewhere April 30th. So let's take a look at the April 19th, which is big option expiration in general, monthly. Maximum pain for the stock, 175. You guys can see how much of options about to expire compared to NVIDIA. It's not a lot. 4 billion, 4.5 billion on the call side. I mean, top line, 380 strikes. But max pain, 175. If it finishes anywhere from 160 to all the way 185, a lot of people will lose money. What about going into May, covering the earnings? If you're somebody who's who likes to trade options, or who tries to capitalize more trading the option, swing trading, whatever, or utilizing covered calls and all that stuff, you keep an eye on that stuff. So 180 maximum pain for May, and there's not too much of a notional value to be expired. But that's just my take. I do think that AMD, if this earnings pretty much in line, and doesn't matter how they guide, but if it's in line or slightly below, stock can come down all the way to its 200-day moving average, which is at the moment 130 something. So that's my take. That's what I think, and I think the stock is expensive, and I don't think this pullback is a deal right here, right now. So, but thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.